Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that affects millions of people worldwide, and it is known as panic attacks. If you've ever felt an overwhelming fear or sense of dread that seems to come out of nowhere, you might have experienced a panic attack. These episodes can be pretty intense and most times very scary. But understanding these panic attacks is the first step towards managing and overcoming them. So in this video, we're going to be talking about panic attacks, what are the causes of panic attacks, how to prevent panic attacks, and what to do if you experience any episodes of panic attacks. So stick around as we dive right into the topic. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nurse Dean. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more health related contents. So before we dive into the topic, I'm going to be talking about my personal experience with panic attack. I know, right? Yeah, they said experience is the best teacher. And I believe that after that episode, I developed greater knowledge and understanding about panic attacks. So my first episode, because yes, it happened again. That's why I use the word first episode. So it happened when I was preparing for my pre-council examination. That period, pre-council examination into, the nursing. So we normally have this pre-council exam before the final council examination. And that period, we were on our clinical posting. So we had it in mind already that right after this clinical posting, we're going back to school to go write our pre-council examination. In between, we had series of exams to write. We also had projects to make sure that your project is up to date and submitted before that pre-council examination. So it was pretty intense on my side. It was stressful having to manage all these things and make sure that I prepare so that I will not have any issues in my pre-council examination, because for you to qualify for the council examination, you must pass that of the pre-council. So on that fateful day, after this intense stress, reading, typing, making your research and all those stuff just to be up to date. So that particular day, I kind of woke up feeling a bit dizzy and all those stuffs. But I felt like it's just, stress from everything that was going on as of that time. So let's say towards around 11 a.m. of that day, I was sitting down, yes, trying to read a few things, and all of a sudden it felt like I could hear my heart beat, like when you're experiencing palpitation and all those stuff. And my palms were they were so sweaty, and it felt really difficult to breathe. And at some point I was wondering what is really going on. My chest was in pain. It's like, what is really going on? So at that point, my focus was, let me just try to breathe first, because I was wondering, is it that? What's going on? Am I dying or what? Like, this episode can be really scary and sometimes very intense. But mine was not so intense anyways. If I were to measure mine, I would say it was not so intense, but it was pretty scary. So at that point, with my knowledge and experience, I could say, let me just try to breathe. I encourage myself, try to breathe, try to distract myself from the situation, from that episode. And let's say between 1 minute to 3 minutes, I got back in shape. That was how I was able to manage that episode, the first episode. So it spurred me into going in details to make my research about panic attacks. And I realized that a lot of people worldwide actually have, in one way or the other, experienced panic attacks. Some might know how to go about it, while some might not know how to go about it. So this video is going to help you today. It's going to help you to know the causes and what to do when you experience a panic attack. It's going to help you to solve this scary situation. So first of all, what is panic attack? Panic attack is a sudden episode of intense fear and discomfort, and it can peak within minutes. Now, most times there might be a trigger, and then on the other side, there might not be an obvious danger or trigger. Now, what do I mean by there might not be an obvious danger or trigger? Unlike mine, that was as a result of stress from reading and all those stuff. My second episode of panic attack came when I least expected it. Like, I didn't see it coming. Like, I had to ask myself, why did this thing happen now? Because there was nothing I could lay my hands on and say, this is why this thing happened at this point. What are those symptoms of this panic attack? You might experience shortness of breath. You might experience sweating or chills, chest pain or discomfort, lightheadedness, or even fear of losing control. Now, something you have to know about panic attack. Panic attack is not life-threatening. However, they can present with terrifying symptoms, which I've mentioned earlier. What are the causes of panic attack? There are lots of things that can cause panic attack. A lot can predispose you to having these episodes. We have biological factors. Under biological factors, we have genetic predisposition. Let's say someone in your family has an episode or a history. There's a history of panic attack in your family. Now, there's a likelihood that you will experience panic attacks. Psychological triggers, like stressful events such as trauma, stress from a lot of things, like I mentioned in my own reason. Now, this is where my own first episode falls in. Stress from a lot of activities, stress from having to think, this is what I'm going to do, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to make sure that this, So all this will fall under the psychological factors. Now, you can also have medical conditions such as anxiety, PTSD, depression. All those things can be triggers to this panic attack. Lifestyle factor. Lifestyle factor in the sense that, are you the type of person that likes taking excessive caffeine, lack of sleep? You might be working a lot and might not have time for yourself, not time to rest, which can be a trigger to you having this panic attack. Imagine depriving yourself from sleep for, like, let me just limit it to 3 days. There's no sleep, no rest. You see that your body becomes weak and your body undergoes different levels of stress. So lack of sleep can be classified under lifestyle factor, which is a trigger to you having panic attacks. Environmental triggers such as crowded places. I know you might be shocked that that I listed crowded places here. Yeah, of course, there are a lot of people that they have this fear of being in the public space. They have this fear of being in an environment where there are lots of people. You see that at a time like this, if that individual finds him or herself in a crowded environment, it will predispose the individual to experiencing panic attacks. Let's talk about how to prevent panic attacks from happening. Yes, prevention, they say, is better than cure. One way to prevent yourself from having this experience is to incorporate stress management techniques. Now, how do you incorporate stress management techniques? In a video of mine, I explained how to manage stress using daily activities. Now, let's focus on you using activities like relaxational techniques such as swimming, dancing, and all those stuff. Those ones can help you to prevent triggers of having this panic attack by helping you manage any level of stress, whether it is stress from work or stress from anything that you feel like will be a bother to you. Second on my list is to get regular exercise. Regular exercise will help you inhibit the release of stress hormones, which will also, on the other hand, prevent the trigger of this panic attack. So regular exercises, remember I talked about exercises also in a previous video. Exercise, you can run, you can jump, you can skip, you can decide to do any form of exercise. Even dancing is a form of exercise. Limit stimulants. You have to cut down on things like caffeine, nicotine, or other substances that can increase your tendency of having anxiety and stress. This will help you prevent panic attacks. Follow a healthy lifestyle. When you follow a healthy lifestyle, such as sleeping when you're supposed to sleep, eating a well-balanced diet, all those things are going to help you in preventing you from having panic attacks. Build a support system. Now, no man is an island. You need friends, you need family, you need people around you, people you can talk to if you're experiencing one stressing situation or the other. It's advised that you have people around you, because we already know that talking can be therapeutic. So I encourage you to have people around you that you can talk to, you can open up to when you're having stressful situations. The next question is, what if I experience panic attack? What am I going to do? So the first thing you should do when you're experiencing a panic attack is that you have to acknowledge that this is not a do or die affair. It is not a life-threatening situation. So you have to convince yourself that this episode will pass. Now, the second on my list is to focus on your breathing. Focus on your breathing. Now, we're going to be adopting the 4-7-8 breathing technique when it comes to this episode. What do I mean by 4-7-8 breathing technique? Now, it's just as easy as saying you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you breathe out for 8 seconds. So we're going to be doing it before we move over to the next way to handle panic attack. So we're going to be starting with inhaling. Afterwards, we hold the breath and then we exhale for 8 seconds. Very good. If you got this right, kudos to you. Now, the next thing to do is to ground yourself with your environment. You need to look around. You need to try as much as you can to distract yourself from the episode. I'm going to give you things that you can do that can help you distract yourself from the episode. First of all, the first one I'll talk about is feeling your feet. Now, you need to focus your whole attention on your feet. Think about your toes. Whether you're lying down, whether you're sitting down on a couch, just think about your feet. What are you doing to your feet currently? Are you shaking your toes? Are you wearing something on your leg? Direct your attention to that area. Then the next thing I would also encourage you to do is to look around and probably name 5 things you can see in your environment. Like, if I should look around my environment, now I'm going to be mentioning 5 things I can see. I'll say I can see the doors, I can see the table, I can see the chairs, I can see the television set, I can see the fan. So these are 5 things I can see in my own environment now. Now, by mentioning these things, by looking around to mention these things, they are going to divert my attention to those things instead of the episode that I am going through. Next, you can also use 4 things you can touch. Now, you can use your hands and probably touch things around you. By touching things around you, they're going to distract you from that episode. You know, the idea is just for you to be distracted from that episode, because distracting yourself from that episode is going to make it less scary, and before you know what is happening, it will pass. So that is the idea of trying to distract yourself from the episode. So another thing I'll be talking about is using affirmative words. You need to use words like, I am safe, this is just a phase, it will pass, and trust me, it is going to pass within a twinkle of an eye. Now, the last on my list is asking for help. If you're in a public environment, I advise you to speak up and tell the person right next to you that you are currently experiencing a panic attack. Now, you might be wondering why I said so, but it's as simple as this. the support that that individual gives to you can help you in solving this episode of panic attack. So I advise you to speak up and tell them, this is what I'm going through now. The person can help calm you down. The person can give you support in one way or the other. So, in conclusion, panic attacks can be overwhelming and scary, but you need to remember that they are not life-threatening. If you're experiencing series of panic attacks, then I encourage you to reach out to your mental health professionals for guidance. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video interesting and informative, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification button for more health-related content. See you all in my next video.